School of Pokemon here, back again with podcast episode number 31 on the PokeFlipz YouTube channel. Joined by my usual co-host, Catch 'em All Collectibles, Dan. How are we doing today, Dan?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Excited for another episode here with you.
Likewise. And at the front end of the podcast, we'll do the YouTube thing. Our last few episodes, we've got about 2,000 views per episode, and we're at 575 subscribers. So if you're here, if you're watching, if you're enjoying the content, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. We've got an affiliate link down there as well. And then, Nick, if you want to let them know our special guest for next week.
Yeah, so next episode, which will be 2 weeks from now, we got Jake from Pokenomics joining us, and we planned this one out because we're going to be recording our next podcast episode on June 2nd, which is the Wednesday before the Collecticon Charlotte event, and Jake and I will actually be driving down the following day on Thursday down to Charlotte, and then Dan and a bunch of other people will be joining us that weekend. So figured we could do a pre-Collecticon talk in that episode, which should be a lot of fun. I am really looking forward to Collecticon. But yeah, so if you guys have any specific questions that you want to ask Jake from Pokenomics, be sure to leave them down below in the comment section, and we can get those answered for the next episode.
Yeah, and anything catered towards Collecticon beforehand, it'll be, recording on the 1st, posting on the 2nd. So when it goes live, Nick and Jake will be partway there, and I'll be flying in Friday morning. So super excited for that. Nick and I just booked our hotels, and I just booked my flight right before this podcast, so getting excited for it.
It's coming up.
And unrelated to the podcast, but if anyone's wondering what's behind me, I just got my last component for my new PC. So not really that my laptop is insufficient for the eBay listing and the light Pokemon related things that I do, but hopefully this stuff should be capable of video editing. We'll find out if I'm personally capable of it once I get all that stuff built. So that's going to be a project for me in the next couple of days, and I just wanted to get it all in here, and I'll start putting it together soon.
I'll be curious to know what you think of Adobe Premiere, because I did a little free trial for that, and I didn't spend as much time as I should with it, but the half hour or so that I spent trying to use it, it was very, very confusing.
Daunting? Yeah, I think you can do a ton with it. And even I never intend to get too deep into it. I'm not going to bring Pokemon Classics or Deep Pocket Monster level editing to my channel, but I don't even have the ability, with StreamYard. I can change the logos up and do stuff like that, but that's the limit of what I can do. I don't even know how to put a picture up on the screen. So hopefully with Adobe, with this machine that I'm going to build behind me, hopefully I'll be able to step up a little bit. But I think that's enough for the front end of the intro to the podcast. We'll hop right into the questions. So Andrew M. came to us with our first question. About displaying vintage packs vertically, will the new PSA pack slab preserve the crimps with the center pressure that holds them in place? So I prepared. I got a prop right next to me. And interestingly enough, this is one that came back to me that was cracked open. So we can actually do a little bit of a diagnostic by going right in there. And I've never really looked as close as I had until I got this cracked one back. But it doesn't really put pressure on the middle. What actually holds it, and I don't know how well it's going to show, and I will say, people might see this and be worried there is evidence that this thing was cracking apart. It came back to me only with a cracked corner, and then I pulled the whole thing apart because I can't sell it anyways. But yeah, the way that it's actually held, the middle section is narrower. Like I'm touching the pack right now, but then on the bottom, there's actually a piece that like clips in and comes out.
Oh, okay.
So see how the pack is like loosely hanging like that? There's no pressure on the middle of the pack at all. It's actually held by pressure on the top and bottom flap. And then it's narrower in the middle and it's wider at the top. So there's kind of an edge there that the flap is either, or I guess it's kind of both. It's both being pinched between the two pieces of plastic and it's kind of resting on that little edge as like a shelf. So I would think displaying vertically, I mean, I wouldn't recommend you do what I'm doing right now. Hopefully your case isn't broken in half like mine is. But I would think this would be fine. I mean, if you're talking 5, 10, 50, 100 years, will the adhesive fail anyways, especially if there's a lot of humidity changes? I think that's something that like, I mean, PSA has been grading for 30 years now, but some kind of environmental degradation to the collectibles inside is inevitable on a long enough timeline. So I wouldn't worry at all. Like no more so storing a card in a PSA pack slab versus any other means. I think this is as safe, if not safer, than any other way you could store it. Vertically, horizontally, however you want to. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I think you pretty much covered that question. I love the new cases. I think they're really nice. A much needed improvement from the old ones.
Yeah, they display really nice. It's unfortunate to have to take a return, but I noticed that they actually print 2 labels because it's such a thick case. They have like the same label in the back to give you the back side, and then they have the same label in the front to give you the front side. I never really knew or realized that, but it makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You got hosed on that pack.
Yeah.
You got some content out of it.
Yep, I had a nice little prop for our question. It was well timed because I did get this like a couple weeks ago, so it was good timing.
So I wonder if it was Andrew M who returned it. So next question comes from Chat BN asking, what is your personal collecting experience like when you run a business around the hobby? I think it's good and bad in a way. It's more so when I was first starting to build my collection and more seriously sell Pokemon cards on eBay. It was a lot tougher back then for me because there was a lot of cards that I would buy to resell and I'd want to hold on to them and add them into my personal collection. So that's where it could be really tough. You definitely need to separate, this is going to be for resale, this is going to be inventory, versus this is going to be for collecting purposes, so on and so forth, which that can be tough at times. But then on the flip side of that, it's awesome being able to run a business in a hobby that you're passionate about, just because you're buying all these collections to resell, so you're able to see all these different cards that you might not have been able to see if you weren't running a business selling these all these types of cards. So I like to think of it as I have a revolving collection of different cards, which is pretty cool right there. But yeah, it's definitely got its pros and cons. Another thing I'll add is that since I went full-time with Pokemon, it's gotten a lot busier for me with the business side of things, because obviously Now my entire income is based off of the business, so I'm spending a lot more time than I used to with the business. So my personal collection has more or less taken a backseat to the business. I don't spend nearly as much time anymore, kind of just even looking through my personal collection, organizing binders, looking through everything, stuff like that, that I used to do when I was kind of had more time. So nowadays, it's more so just going through inventory, getting stuff listed on eBay, and all of that stuff. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think partially what the question might be getting at, and I've heard this before.
Oh, did I just answer a wrong question?
No. You answered it in a reasonable way, I think. But I've heard. I'm trying to think of the saying or the euphemism. I don't know what it would be considered, but do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. It is like a common one, but then there's one that's like,
Oh, don't mix business with pleasure.
yeah, there's one that there's more than one on both sides, I think. But the one that's counter to that is don't mix business with pleasure, or don't don't try to do a hobby full time because then you'll hate it. Things along that lines. I've only been doing this full time for a little under a year. I'm nowhere near there yet. Hopefully, I don't ever get there. I'm still enjoying it, very much so. From 2014 to 2019, it was very much a hobby. Just the way that I like to interact with the hobby is like what I deem the most efficient way possible. So I seeded it with 5 grand and then just a ton of my time and flipped my way up to what I have today. 2020, due to the insanity, was the first year that I became like a net seller. And then I've been a net seller every year since, largely because in 2021 I went full time. So like I need to take some amount of a salary from this. And so I'm going to be a net seller from every year here on out, by definition. But like Nick said, I am very good. And I know not everyone is this way. I'm very good with buying something, owning it for some amount of time, and then like moving on from it. I get a lot out of just, it's in my name, right? Catch 'em all collectibles. We're all trying to catch them all, but I have come to terms with years ago that I never could. But like moving on, moving through inventory, moving through things through my collection instead of just locking them down forever. The more you move, the more you flip, you can handle more things. Like I can never own them all, but maybe someday I can own most of them at least once for some amount of time. So, um, like Nick said, you need to really isolate your personal collection versus your inventory. I'll go further and just say that everything should be inventory. Try to limit it as much as possible, but like there are certain things that I don't have listed at all times. There are certain things that I list substantially higher than market price because I like them a lot and they're like kind of personal collection, but more just inventory that someone really needs to overpay to pry away from me. There's that saying too, don't get high on your own supply. You do need to be very careful if you try to do this full time. And if you're just like, I like this, I like that, if you're just pulling everything aside, I mean, you can go broke by not having anything to sell. You'll have a great collection, but you'll be on the street if you're trying to pull an income from this. So you do got to be careful there. But I've I've definitely navigated that pretty well so far. And if anything, I mean, I've definitely given it a back seat and I haven't gotten to my binders as much as lately. That's just how much of a backlog that I've had. Once I get through the backlog, I do think I'll get back to there and get more to the collecting enjoyment side. But I've intentionally put that on the back burner to try to catch up. And then once I get there, I'll more thoroughly enjoy it because now I can just do it a lot more. 60 hours a week, pretty much.
That was a good question. I liked that one.
Yeah. Next question comes from Ray. Thoughts on Crystal Guardians as a set? why does it seem to be kind of forgotten? So this question came in really late. I was talking to Ray on Discord just a few minutes before we started filming the podcast. And interestingly enough, I knew it had gold stars in it, but I couldn't think of which ones it was. I'm going to share my screen here for anyone watching on YouTube and not listening on Anchor. So here's Crystal Guardians for anyone else who forgot about it. Yeah, so it does have a Charizard. It does have Blastoise. It does have Venusaur, I believe, as well, right?
No.
Or no?
Just Blastoise and Charizard.
It's so weird how they break up trios all the time. They do 2 of the 3 for the trios. Once we get down to the EXs, they actually did they did Swampert and they did Blaziken. Yeah, Combusken's the second one. So they did Swampert and they did Blaziken, but they didn't do Sceptile as an EX. Oh no, they did do Sceptile right there. Okay, never mind. They did do the full trio for the EXs. But I don't know. I don't have nostalgia for the mid-era stuff. So from the EX era specifically, like I do love the gold stars. EX Team Rocket Returns stands out as probably my favorite EX set.
Even more so than Fire Red Leaf Green?
Fire Red Leaf Green is good too. Crystal Guardians, I don't know that I'd put it last, but like I just don't have a general large focus on the mid era to begin with. So it's been so long. Like if 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I guess 3 years ago, pre-boom, if you had asked me about Crystal, I would have known a lot more about it. One, because I would have just opened the box only a year or so prior. Now it's been like 4 years or so since I opened the box probably. But I've definitely gotten away these past 2 years, all this insanity. I've gotten away from looking at my binders. I want to get back into that. So yeah, this one just kind of fades away for me, but it fades into, I mean, if I had to go through all the EX era sets, I know all the set symbols, but I don't know that I could tell you all the gold stars from each. I probably could get a lot of them, but some of that's fading. I need to like go back and start remembering all that.
You're better than me. I know all the WotC and a portion of the EX set symbols. Then
I think
second
I know
half and that whole Diamond and Pearl, Black and White, Platinum, all those. I have no idea on the set symbols for those.
It's funny, like up through XY, I could probably name most of the sets in order from like base set on, and I could get most of the set symbols, like 95% of set symbols at least. Sun and Moon to current, I would mix up more of the set orders than I would in X and Y era, probably. Just because, like, yeah, like these past 2 years or so, I've been doing it full time, but I haven't been opening boxes. I've been selling stuff sealed.
That's true.
And I've been like 99% of my listings on eBay are slabs, and 95% of them are like ultra modern promos, not a ton of set cards, ultra modern, and then like vintage set cards and promos. So mid-era set cards just aren't a frequent part of my inventory. And like celebrations, I opened a ton of it, but I didn't open hardly any Sun and Moon or Sword and Shield era sets, like almost none of them. So I'm slipping on like the English set side, which was, I mean, that's where I started. That's what I do, but I've just not kept up with all the modern stuff.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm XY I'm probably decent at with names and set symbols, but then Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, I know most of the names and set symbols for that. And hopefully opening product will continue for me. But as far as the question goes, were you done? Did you have anything else to say?
I think I covered everything. Yeah, there are some cool arts in it.
I'm going to come at this with a little hotter take here, Ray.
Uh-oh.
Crystal Guardians is forgotten because it's a god awful set. The only good cards in Crystal Guardians is that Blastoise. You have a mediocre artwork for a Charizard. And then the EXs, you don't have a single good EX there. You also don't have any good. I'm sorry, Celebi collectibles, but you also don't have any good gold stars in Crystal Guardians.
You got Delta Species. You got an electric Charizard.
I've never liked that Charizard. It looks weird to me. But the Blastoise, the Holo Blastoise, and the non-Holo Blastoise, I think are really nice. Oh, you
There's a Venusaur too.
Okay.
I thought there was a Venusaur.
But yeah,
that must be a non-holo rare.
No, that's a holo, the Venusaur.
It's number 28.
It looks like a holo, doesn't it?
They go alphabetical through 13, and they start over alphabetical. So these must be the non-holos.
Okay. Huh.
I think. It would have a reverse holo.
Yeah.
But not.
Doesn't that look holo when you click on it?
It does. Crystal Guardians has the set logo on the reverse holos too, right?
Yeah.
That is weird.
Maybe it's not. Oh, yeah, rare. It says at the top.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of Crystal Guardians. That'd be my hot take on it.
It would be, of the EX sets, it would probably be a bottom half EX set, I guess, for me. Sorry, Ray. Like, here's the Charmander showing the Crystal Guardians logo. It looks like they scanned some reverse holos. This one doesn't even look reverse holo, though. The Diglett is cool, though. I like this Diglett. It's funny. Speaking of Diglett,
I was just gonna say it. The Green Shiz, thanks to all the Shadowless Glizzy comments on the podcast last week from the Green Shiz's video, I ended up having to sell him some Shadowless Digletts. So I am now a few Shadowless Digletts. There's a few less Shadowless Digletts in my my Shadowless horde there. So your Shadowless Glizzy comments paid off.
Down in the cave.
Yeah, see, Charmander doesn't even look cool. I'm never gonna be able to look at your logo the same after that, Charmander.
I don't think it's bad by any means.
Like, childish.
It's a fine set, but it doesn't really stand out to me among the other. Like, Team Rocket Returns, Fire Red, Leaf Green would be more standout, I guess. Unseen Forces is pretty solid too. I'm a Crystal. Like, I loved Yellow. Yellow was my game, but that was the one I started with. I played Crystal next, and I think the second generation games were a lot better. And to get so many of those big second generation hitters in Unseen Forces, that was really cool. So we covered that one fully.
Oh yeah, I think so. So next question comes from Poke Family Gaming. Pokemon re-announced yesterday that they are going to utilize higher printing output to try and meet demand. Do you think they will start to reprint out of rotation product, i.g. Cosmic Eclipse? Cosmic Eclipse, that's a weird one. I don't know. Well, to answer that, the Cosmic Eclipse thing, I don't know what's going on with Cosmic Eclipse, but that's been in a lot of products. You had them in the 2021 Pokeball tins, and then we just had them again in the RCSV figure collection boxes. So I don't know why Pokemon has so many Cosmic Eclipse packs, and I will say that this recent Cosmic Eclipse reprint, or I don't know what it is. The booster packs were different than they were originally. So originally, Cosmic Eclipse and all the Sun and Moon sets had the normal, like non hollow, non shiny looking booster packs. But with the Cosmic Eclipse booster packs in the Arceus figure collection boxes, they had that kind of like glossy, hollow, shiny pack art to them. So
Different style code card too, right?
I didn't open any of them.
I think, and again, I open so little modern product, but I think the style of green versus white code card, I think those have changed in recent times.
Yeah,
And some of these like older sets that are getting reprinted, you can tell based on how that goes.
I didn't even think to do that. I should have done that with some of them, but I ended up selling all those off. But yeah, I don't that yeah that's such a weird thing because Cosmic Eclipse is a good set, but why are they printing more of that with when they have so much other stuff they can print more of? But to answer the actual question just in general, I almost think that Pokemon has too much to print right now to be doing those out of rotation products. But then again, that whole Cosmic Eclipse thing that I just mentioned, kind of that one's kind of like the oddball. But outside of Cosmic Eclipse, I think they just have too much to print. In terms of going back in over past sets. We obviously the biggest one is Evolving Skies. That definitely needs some type of reprint here. And then even so, what do we got? Shining Fates just got one. Champion's Path is a pretty terrible set, but even those ETBs are getting expensive. So I can see maybe the Champion's Path too. But yeah, I just think they have a lot of products coming up. Pokemon Go, Astral Radiance, the next sets that are coming out, and for them to go back to out of rotation product, I think that would be just too much for them to handle.
Yeah, I mean, historically speaking, anything within 2 years generally is fair game. I don't know the exact rotation where we stand. It's been so weird over the past little over 2 years now because there hasn't been many tournaments going on. But 2 years ago, like Rebel Clash was released just over 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That almost covers the entire Sword and Shield block, and Cosmic Eclipse ended the Sun and Moon block. So Cosmic Eclipse it's November 2019, so it's under 2.5 years. It wouldn't be unheard of historically for something to be reprinted that late, and clearly we're seeing that the packs are newer. They just decided to not put them in boxes. Kind of a strange thing. I don't really know how they go about deciding that stuff. I'm looking up quickly what a Cosmic Eclipse booster box goes for because I don't even know.
Those have got to be expensive.
I'm gonna go to lowest buy now. Looks like on eBay 480. Yeah, I mean, if they were to reprint that, there would be a lot of unhappy modern sealed investors, but a lot of businesses would be pretty happy. It would probably be one of those things where it wouldn't get anywhere near to MSRP, but it would come down substantially still. More realistic ones though, like Rebel Clash, I think is the booster box has gone up a decent amount, I think.
Sword and Shield base is another one where booster boxes are tough, but the loose packs are everywhere.
Yeah, it's weird because like no one's really clamoring for more of the packs in general, but the boxes are like Rebel Clash's high 100s. Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage both got them pretty recently. They also both got ETBs pretty recently.
Yep.
Battle Styles and Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike. I can call up my distributor and order as much as I want tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, Evolving Skies really stands out. Brilliant Stars too, just because that's brand new and the prices are already 130, 140, I think. I think they're literally printing everything they can though. At some point in the next month, usually right around June, we get the production numbers for the prior year through March. So in 2020, it was something like 3.1 million cards, and then in 2021, it was billion. 3.1 billion, and then it went to like 3.4 or 3.7 billion in 2021. I'm really interested to see what March of 21 to March of 22 was. I mean, if they come out and they say it was like 4 billion cards, if it like slightly more than the year prior, that's going to be crazy. It's crazy what these boxes are doing in spite of the just massive print levels. I mean, not like 1999 levels, but not substantially far off either, I don't think. It's really wild, but do I think they will specifically start to reprint out of rotation product? I don't know what the reasoning would be. I mean, the players don't need it for tournaments. Even back in 2018, 2019, they were printing a lot of product then. Nothing like the 2020, 21 numbers, but it's really hard to say. Evolutions prove that Pokemon will print as far out as like 4 or 5 years later, maybe. So to some extent, anything's fair game. It'll be interesting to see. I don't have much for booster boxes. Anything. I'm trying to think of like the oldest set that I have. Probably Darkness Ablaze. I have cases worth. Nothing prior to that. I have got the odd box here or there, but nothing in case quantity. So I'd love for them to reprint anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we'll just have to see. I mean, if they were to just do a massive, they've got Astral Radiance coming out soon, and they've got Pokemon Go, which they've got to do.
But I'm thinking they've probably already printed all that stuff.
Astral Radiance, there's already been like the big content creators getting their boxes, and
yeah.
I mean, it comes out next Friday, so that's definitely all printed, at least wave 1. Yeah. Most of my stuff was coming wave 1 too. I don't think there was like 3 waves like it's been kind of normal. So I'm betting on it that we get more of this, because I've sold down to like, I've got 6 boxes left that I'm gonna plan to sell 1 or 2 a week till they're gone. I'm gonna sell down to 0 over the next few weeks. I'd be shocked if we don't get another pretty sizable reprint before the fall, and then I would think we'd get another one even, because it's such, like I've mentioned it before, but if Pokemon reprints Battle Styles right now, if Astral Radiance isn't a massive hit, it might hang out at 100 a box or something. We don't really know, but if they print this, however much they print, it's all sold instantly. Their distributors are going to take all of it. If they call up the distributors and say, hey, we just printed more Fusion Strike again, we just printed more Chilling Reign, Battle Style, they're going to be like, yeah, we've got 80 pallets of each. We got to like move around so we can fit a few more, I guess. But I think we had this for a topic later in our thing, but we might as well just keep talking about it now.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Interestingly, Evolving Skies did go back up on the Pokemon Center, I believe, from the time that we're recording this. I think it was like a day ago, 24 hours ago. Someone said earlier in Discord, I think it's gone. I think it's sold out. I'm going to verify that quickly, but I think it was up for like 18 hours or so, and then it's sold out.
I'm sure a lot of people took advantage of that.
Boxes are showing is out of stock. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that pops up again. Sometimes what Pokemon Center will do, they'll take a ton of orders, Something will go out of stock for a short time, and then it'll pop back in a couple days later. No idea if that'll happen, but we'll see. The sleeve boosters for $3.99 a piece, they're still available. So the booster boxes are just sold out. But yeah, I mean, I'm like, I've seen some people saying the reprint's definitely coming. I've seen some people saying it's going to be like Team Up, it's not coming. I put my money where my mouth was, I guess. I literally, I'm going to be selling out. So I'm placing my bet. I think you're sold out too, right?
I still got 6 left that I'm holding on to.
Are you gonna like? Do you have any time frame, or is that like you'll carry those through a reprint?
Yeah, no, I'll just hold on to those forever. I already set back. I already set back Fusion Strike just because.
Oh, that's early.
It's not due. You can't make money selling it.
That's right. Yeah.
So I set back 2 cases of Fusion Strike. I haven't set back Brilliant Stars yet. I'll wait on that one.
Yeah, I mean, historically, what my play always was, like through the XY era, I would try to set back 2 cases of each about 2 years after they came out, kind of like the last call. And it was never like a mad dash, everyone trying to do the same thing. It was like, oh yeah, I'll take a couple cases now. It's 2 years old. Like they were always there in stock, ready to go. It was never a big deal. Only these past 2 years, it's been a big deal. So like, I'm interested to see as we leave the print window, as we leave the 2 years, like, will the battle styles, will the Chilling Reign, will even those ones just, if the distributor says, hey, Pokemon gave us last call, will even sets like that kind of just like jump right up, like kind not to 200, 300, not to crazy numbers, but will they kind of elevate her up to 130, 140 from 90 where they are now? I have no idea, but it'll be interesting to see because I think a lot of people have that same thought. A lot of people have the same thing in mind, like stock up on it before it's gone because you can't get it anymore. And long-term modern sealed investing is like the trend.
I think that's what's gonna change things. Is back before 2 years ago, you didn't have as many people holding on to all this modern product, but now everyone and their mother is holding on to everything.
Yeah, I think I'm like, I don't know what you were doing 5 years ago, but I think I'm pretty indicative of what's going on. From like the business side. I mean, I've been operating as a business for the entire 8 years I've been back into the hobby, but now I'm like a full-time business taking a salary from it. But years ago, like Breakpoint, everything from, I missed Flashfire because it was too expensive at like a couple $100 a box or whatever it was back then. But everything from Phantom Forces through the end of XY, I put back 2 cases of. I intended to hold those for a long time. The insanity of 2020 happened and I sold them all. Some of them continued up, some of them have kind of come back a little bit, but now, like just how everything has scaled, how I've scaled, my intent is to put back 10 to 20 cases of each now. Instead of 1 to 2, I'm 10xing my intent for holding things back. That's like most businesses, most people I think didn't do any of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So some people are going from they used to do 0 and now they're doing 2 cases, 5 cases, however much. I 10x what I'm doing. Like I want to go 2 years after Battle Styles is done. I want to have 60 to 120 boxes ideally.
Yep.
For not for like 20 years from, I don't think 20 years from now it's going to be a $5,000 box or anything crazy, but I think it'll just be good inventory to have a little bit of all the sets over the past several. My price target isn't 50% returns per year or anything obscene, but I think they'll do well to just have a little bit of everything in stock. Some sets will kind of pop off and do really well, and the other ones will do reasonably well, or maybe they won't because everyone's doing it. That's kind of the common question.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your number? Like, how many cases of each? Generally,
I'm doing 5, and then like 5 of everything, and then like more popular sets. So I just started with Darkness Ablaze. So like more popular sets. So right now, Brilliant Stars. That one I definitely like to have more of. Evolving Skies, definitely would like to have more of that one if we ever see more of that one.
Yeah.
But as a baseline 5.
And do you have like a set schedule that you'll sell them off, or will it just be by feel, pretty
Yeah,
much?
yeah, yeah. I don't have any of them listed. Just got them set back for now. Collecting dust.
That I kind of want to make a standalone video on at some point, but like my plan for those ones that I'm setting back, because I never really had, I'm gonna sell starting this date regardless of price, I'm gonna sell one per month, whatever. Like I've never had like a schedule like that. I've never really had, once it gets to 253 some fixed number, it's just been by feel. And in 2020 I felt like, okay, I'm selling everything.
Yep, yep.
Nearly. I think I do have one box of everything going back to Primal Clash. I definitely don't have Phantom Forces or prior. I don't have XY Base, Flash Fire, Furious Fist, or Phantom Forces, but I definitely have at least one or two like Primal Clash on, I think. One or two boxes, not cases.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like it's a little scary to think how everyone's doing the same thing and these prices, but booster boxes are pretty liquid. If things change, if we really get into turmoil and the hobby goes into a massive lull, that will go away largely. But I'm not too concerned holding 10 cases of each, and then just if and when I need a little bit of cash flow, pop a case onto the market. Or I mean, never know what the future might bring, and if I need to move some here and there, I will. But that's the second part. I guess I can click down on this one, since that's mostly what we're talking about at this point. But
Yep.
one interesting thing we talked about pre-record, I think you and I have both the same take. Like, say tomorrow it comes in, hey Nick, we can get you 10 cases of Evolving Skies. So say, like, for you that would be a lot, for me that would be a lot. That's more than like I initially got on the first wave. If and when you get those 60 boxes at your normal, say, mid-80s price, hopefully they don't come out and like, okay, we can give you that at 120 a piece or 110 a piece, like some of them tend to do. But if you were to get 60 boxes tomorrow at 85 a piece, say, what would be your strategy? And would it be dependent on pricing?
Yeah, no, I would set a majority of those back and just not sell many of them.
Like, especially if the price goes down. Look, I see a common sentiment is the reprint's definitely coming. It's going to go sub 100. Buy when it's like, if everyone's waiting to buy at 100 specifically when the reprint comes,
I don't think that's
it might not get there. No. Unless it's massive, because I've seen it. Like, some people's buy price is 120, 110, 90, like anywhere in between. So like if it were to get down to 90, I would probably buy all from my distributor I can, and then buy 10 more cases on the open market. If it were like sub 100, I probably would.
Yeah.
I didn't go on to the Pokemon Center and buy any at 144. That's too much. But like, if say I get anywhere between 5 and 10 cases and it goes to like 120 on the open market, I think 120 would be too much for me to get into it. But anything around that 100 to 110, especially if what I get from my distributor is pretty small, I might be buying like from the open market. But we'll have to see. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see what happens, because that's kind of like the talk of the town lately.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's almost inevitable that I don't think it'll remain a Pokemon Center exclusive. I almost think it has to go through distribution.
I did hear something about Australia and some other country getting a fairly sizable reprint, I think. So,
how did Australia get it before us?
well, maybe that, I don't know. Maybe it's their first, because we got a couple waves of it, right? We got it
Yeah, we
initially.
did get. Well, it was small though. You could order. I remember you could order like 2 boxes.
It
There was
did
one
knock
you could
price.
order a case.
It was big enough though to knock the price down. I think we got bad second waves because we're small. I think some of the big
Yeah,
people
that's
got
true.
big ones though, because I forget the exact price trajectory, but it was sub 120 out of the gate, I think, and then it kind of shot up. I forget how high it went exactly, but then it got pinned back down under 120 again, and now it's back up to like 180 or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be really interesting to see, and obviously there's going to be a ton of eyes on it. Like if and when it gets announced, it's just going to be a feeding frenzy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by it. Anything else to add on Evolving Skies, or do you want to go to our next question?
I'm good with that one.
I guess our next question kind of ties into it a little bit almost, and it's not like a completely serious question, I don't think. But your average player popped in and asked how the Moonbreon play is going. So that was discussed on the last podcast with Mason, and then live on the podcast, like we kind of came to the realization that this card was selling for, I guess I can pop it up, $700 in PSA 10 with like an 80% PSA 10 rate or something crazy. Let me get my screen shared again. So I didn't myself go out and make a play because like I looked at it. The TCG player prices were what, 300 or 400.
Yeah.
And the PSA 10s were like 700. So there was room there, but I didn't feel like making the play. One thing though that definitely it will have like in my mind moving ahead, I'm gonna be at least a seed has been planted, and I'm going to be like thinking about like how many modern set cards have you graded over the past 2 years? Like since, well, I guess year and 2 months. Have you graded any ultra modern set cards at like $50 to $300 in this past year and 2 months?
Nope. I wanted to do the Brilliant Stars one, but timing didn't work out for me for that one.
Oh, I gotta get logged in. I had the wrong browser where my.
Yeah, so I haven't graded any. And then of course, Astral Radiance. I don't think there's gonna be anything to grade from that set. But
But
I do want to pay more attention to that.
are you going to consider like at $50 now that we have that? Because it would have been really tough. I think when Evolving Skies came out, I think 150 was the lowest, and then shortly thereafter the 100 opened, and then a little bit after that, obviously like the $50 lottery. And now we're completely open at 50. But yeah, that's a bigger gamble than I felt comfortable making. I still need to log in.
Evolving Skies was at a time where I wasn't opening packs for Evolving Skies.
Yeah, I didn't open any
either. The boxes were 130, 140 right out of the gate.
Yes, it's still ticking up. Like it's been 2 weeks, so in the past 2 weeks it's gone up not substantially, but 10 or 20 bucks maybe. 767 pop, PSA 10.
Crazy.
It's but yeah, it definitely, I didn't make any specific play towards this card, but it definitely planted a seed where like every subsequent set that comes out, I'm going to pay a little closer attention and then potentially be ready to make a play.
Yeah, no, that was one that came out of nowhere for me. Definitely gonna pay more attention to that.
Yeah,
There's too much going on though. It's so hard to keep track of everything.
it really is. It's such a massive hobby. It's so diverse. There's so many cards.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Mm.
I mean, going back to the whole you're never going to catch them all. There's just so much. I mean, we're on Brilliant Stars was the 91st set.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, the next couple years, we're going to be hitting the 100th expansion. We're going to be going over like 1,000 different Pokemon. Maybe not with Scarlet and Violet, but probably with the next one. Because I think we're at like, I don't even know how many
I
Pokemon
want
there
to
are
say it's
anymore.
like 890 something.
908 now it's saying.
Oh, I was so close.
I don't know if that's counting like Rowlet or not Rowlet, Quaxley in them.
Who?
I think Quaxley.
Oh, okay.
It looks like that's counting Spirigato, Fuecoco, and Quaxley. The only one I remember is Quaxley because he's the man. But yeah, I mean, depending on how big this generation is, this generation could take us Gen 9.
Yeah.
Could take us over 1,000 species.
That's crazy.
It's absurd how many like yeah, to try and catch them all is just nuts. Daunting task.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so your average player, we didn't let us know in the comments anyone that made a big play on Moonbreon. How'd you make out? I know after we talked about it, I did have a couple people message me on like Instagram or on Discord saying that they bought some when it was in the 100s, 200s, and now it's like popped to 300 something on TCG Player. So I did see some like grading results. I saw some people who paid the 100 or paid the 50 and made a few $100, like did well with it. So
Awesome.
shout out to all those people who made a solid play there.
Seriously.
It wasn't me.
Me neither. So hold on one second. Next question comes from Matthew B. How to protect thick individual booster packs, IG demo, Japanese versus. So I really haven't figured out a good way to do this. PSA does grade the packs, but that's kind of expensive. If you don't want to get them graded, I do this. So it's here's a demo pack. And it's the Ultra Pro non-recessed screw down holders. So you basically just take the two parts apart, put the booster pack in the middle, and then I use an Ultra Pro graded card sleeve to kind of seal everything together. That's the best solution that I've been able to come up with. It doesn't look that good, but it does. It's the perfect length for the demo pack. These plastic holders, and it protects the pack. But as far as looking good, looking nice, I don't think there's a viable option right now. That's the best option that I could come up with. Do you have any better options?
The way that I store normal packs is basically I didn't throw a prop together, but I think I can throw one quick. I have everything within arm's reach. So I just use the like a slab. These are the Superior Fit Innovations. So I just use like a slab holder with I got a random card saver with a Topps card in it. So I'm just going to use that. I think you would have enough room here to fit like the demo pack. I guess you wouldn't have enough to fit something really thick, but I just do a card saver and then the pack inside of one of these sleeves. If you wanted to, you could put a card saver on each side. If this isn't quite thick enough for the really thick packs, you could go up to the ones that the green shiz used to pick on me about.
Your DVD
The
size
DVD
holders.
sleeves. Yeah. So the DVD sleeves are basically just Ultra Pro graded card sleeves. They're like really baggy, but
Yep.
this would be able to hold a thicker pack than like the perfect fit graded card sleeve. So yeah, I would probably do graded card sleeve, either the perfect fit one, or if you need to, go to the DVD bag, and then just with cards, I would do a card saver on the back so that you're not like impeding the view at all. It's a more clear look, clean look. But if you want to do it on both sides, you could for a little more rigidity. But as Nick mentioned too, you can grade them. Like they grade the demo pack, so it must just be a thicker style pack case.
And Simon, if you're watching this far in, there's another acrylic case idea for you. Yeah, maybe we'll be able to get him to make some acrylic cases for the thicker booster packs.
I mean, reach out to any of the various people you see selling acrylic cases, because I mean, some of them do a pretty diverse like offering of products, like theme decks, booster boxes, old style, new style. I mean, some of them are looking for more custom things to do, so reach out to someone who's making different kinds of displays and maybe they'll hook you up. Next question comes from PokeMartin. Why haven't we started our own websites, and have we ever considered being business partners? So we did slide this one to the last question. So these are the last two questions in one for the night. We figured that this might be like a lengthy thing we could talk on, so we slotted it to the end. I guess I'll just tackle the first part. And
yeah.
Initially for the second part, I mean, this is the PokeFlipz podcast on the PokeFlipz YouTube channel. So I guess we are business partners in this venture. I mean, the genesis of my YouTube was this podcast. So we definitely are business partners on the podcast. And as far as, I think I paraphrased this one. Let me see if I can go back to and get like the full question. But I'll start with the website side.
Yeah.
I'm not great with like branding and like I have an Instagram, Facebook, because you can post on them at the same time. I wish I did it from the start, but I only did the Facebook more recently. So I think I have like 2,000 followers on Instagram and then 20 or something on Facebook. I don't even know what that's at anymore.
I thought you were going to say 2,000 followers on Facebook. I was going to say not a chance.
No, it's like really, really small. So I have an Instagram and a Facebook, and then I have eBay and YouTube, all named the same. I use a link tree. So like in my what do you call it on Instagram? I link my link tree, which is like, I almost feel like that's my website to some extent, because it puts all the links for everything in one place. If I made a website, what would it be? Like, I'm assuming the way this question is phrased, I'm assuming it's more like, why don't you have a website where you sell some stuff? But I've contemplated creating a website, just linking to all my social, like starting small and then branching out, like feel it out, see how I like it. Maybe I still will someday. I just haven't gotten to it, but I have a good time like selling on eBay successfully. I branched out a little bit to like where I sell on PWCC. The whole eBay vault thing's coming. Like there's so much in the works. I don't feel like I need a better place to sell. I think the big, and we've talked about this before, I think the big complaint with eBay is like FeeBay. They charge so much for what they offer. eBay is so reasonable. Like, I mean, I want to say cheap, but maybe people will cringe if I say that like 12.5% is cheap. I honestly think it is. For the amount of reach that it has, for the like the ability to just list it, set it, forget it. Someday it's gonna sell, pack it up, put it out there. Like, the barrier to entry is lower to just create an eBay page and sell on there. No, I do pay for a store, so I guess there is an ongoing cost, but like running a website, I got to get someone to design something. I got to figure out how to create a website, pay the monthly fees, whatever those are. I've looked into it a little bit, but like, I don't really see or feel the need right now. Because I need to, like, I don't have a massive, I guess if I had a massive YouTube or a massive Instagram, it would be easier to start pushing it. But I feel like it would just be tens of hours, dozens of hours to get it up and running. And then it would be like a 1% increase. It wouldn't even be a 1% increase in sales. It would steal a few sales here and there from eBay. And the amount that it would potentially save me in fees would be less than what I'm paying to run it for at least quite a while. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would do better than I think, but it wouldn't get like a lot of organic traffic. It would only get the same people that watch my YouTube or Instagram if I talked about it. And for now, they can just go to eBay, and then if they want something, they can message me on Instagram, and then I just sell it through PayPal or whatever. So it's like, how much am I actually potentially gaining? I don't really know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this so many times. I think it'd be cool to have my own website, but getting traffic to your website is a lot harder than already having all the traffic that goes to eBay. So I think that's definitely the biggest downside. Plus, it's fairly expensive to get a website built with the ability for people to shop and add products and all of that stuff. So it's a fairly substantial upfront cost to get all that stuff up and running. And like what you were saying with the upside benefit in terms of sales, it would take a long time for it to become like worthwhile in terms of a dollar amount to actually have a website. So I've said in past podcasts that I want to get a website up and running at some point. Now I'm thinking I don't know if I do. Might just stick with eBay, TCG Player, and all of that. eBay makes it really easy to sell on their platform. Listing cards is really easy. Packaging orders is really easy. Having the ability to bulk print all your labels is something that a website wouldn't necessarily offer. I know I've talked with TCA Gaming about when he had his website, and back a couple of years ago, he had all these single cards listed on his website, and he would have to go into each individual order, print the label, and then go to the next order, print that label, and so on and so forth. So that just sounds like a massive pain, and something I would not want to do. So I think for now, just definitely stick with eBay.
Yeah, and I do know, I guess I should talk with some people with websites. I mean, we had Mason on recently. He does website, and I know there's ways to integrate Shopify with your eBay so that, like, you definitely wouldn't want to run an eBay where, I have it listed on eBay, or a website where it's listed on eBay and the website, and then you're like manually pulling one down when the other sells. You wouldn't want that at all. You'd need, and I'm pretty sure Shopify is probably one of the multiple solutions that provide that integration. And the more features and automation you talk about, the more that monthly price goes up, plus your hosting, plus, yeah, it's been on my maybe I'll do it someday list for a long time too, even before I was full-time. But I'm in a good spot now. I'm doing pretty well without it, and it just feels like I already sell not a ton, but I sell a majority of my stuff on eBay, but I sell a decent amount off eBay between Evo and between PWCC. I actually recently sent a little bit of stuff out to Heritage just to try it out.
Mm-hmm.
But like I know contracted rates exist with substantially lower fees on eBay, but you need to get to like a certain sales volume to get those kind of deals. So like if I spread everything out, it's good because I'm reaching customers in all different places, but it's also bad because I'm less likely to get to those proper numbers for eBay to reach out to me and say, "Hey, want to have like half seller fees or something?" So that would be like another consideration in there somewhere. Whatever I divert away from my eBay through my own website, yeah, I'm saving 10. I mean, you're going to have a baseline fee of processing a credit card, 3.5% probably, if not a little bit more. So you're saving less than 10%. And then I'm just almost concreting the fact that I'll never get contracted rates with eBay. And not that I'd ever get PWCC type rates, what they were doing back when they were on eBay. I heard they had numbers as low as 2% final value fee, something like that. And that would not be remotely attainable. But yeah, I mean, that's a consideration. If you do all your business with one and you really get some kind of a sweetheart deal, lower fees, that would be great. And that would, it would still be higher. Well, PWCC, it wasn't higher than what like PayPal directly would be, I don't think, but just some of the considerations. I guess I'm thinking out loud towards it. Making excuses as to why I'm not going to go set up a website, I guess.
Yeah, no, it'd be different if we knew how to do it ourselves, but
and
that's a big learning curve and something I don't want to learn right now.
So I did paraphrase. And one thing he
Yeah,
did
he
say,
talked about the fees and all that. And
well, he said, "Why haven't you started your own websites yet? A lot of other folks have done so, and I think they do fairly well. It would just be in addition to your eBay, and I think it would be good to at least test out." And he said, "Saying you don't have time is a cop-out answer."
damn it.
So we didn't fully say that's the only reason we haven't done it. Like we kind of did elaborate more on the time thing, but also the cost, and then the thinking it would be, I would be shocked if I was a net positive towards my like business monetarily within the first year. I would be shocked, honestly, if I got enough traffic to it within the first 2 years to get to where like I'm not only am I paying for itself, but like overcoming the cost of it to some reasonable like payback for my time.
Yeah.
Because if you invest 50 hours of your time and $1,000 and then $100 a month or whatever it would be ongoing, if you invest all that, like what if you just put that into inventory? What if you just put that time and energy into getting more inventory to list on eBay? And so, yeah, I just don't feel like it would be a great investment of time and money to some extent. Because I would have to pay someone to design it. I can't design a website. Like I would have to pay someone to do all of it almost.
Exactly.
It would end up like one of my thumbnails if I tried doing it myself. And I think everyone's seen those.
No, well, maybe I could design it myself because I'm a pretty pro thumbnail maker.
Nick is in charge of we have partnered on this podcast, and we went with his strength. I should point this way. We went with his strength of thumbnails, and I just do the audio upload and get that clipped. And since I live in the woods and don't have good internet, he's got to do the upload side too. Like,
Yeah. So what do you actually do for this podcast?
I got the nice StreamYard stuff up and running. I got the nice banners that we run here. I pop all the questions in beforehand. I'm pulling my weight.
Another thing I thought of is more so towards the laziness aspect, but it's another website to go, or it's another place that you have to go to see what you sold and mail your orders. And I like keeping things simple.
I think
So for
though,
me,
if you use a Shopify or whatever, I think you would go to that one place. I might be understanding this wrong, but I think you go there to create your listings, and then it pushes them to both eBay and your website. And I think you go there for printing your orders, right?
yeah, but even having to go to shop, like it's a pain having to go to TCG Player to print orders. I always forget that. I've gotten better, but there's been times where I've had like 10 orders that are 3 days old that I haven't mailed.
Then they send you all those emails.
Yeah, exactly. uh, but yeah, so I feel like it would be another website to check if I have an order, and it would turn into TCG Player where I'd forget to check, or
It is, and then from the buyer side too, like, okay, now because everyone shops on eBay pretty much. Now I've got to go check out Dan's website. Now I've got to go check out Nick's website. PWCC, Heritage, Golden, Hakes, Memory Lane. Like, there's a lot out there already. Like, do we really need more websites? Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I don't know if you have anything more to add to the websites, or if we've hit that thoroughly enough.
No, I'm excited to get to the next question here.
So
Let's
I
get
have
to
it.
this one.
I have it paraphrased here, but I'll just show the whole question here. Follow up: have you guys ever considered being business partners? You might do better if you tag team up. You want to start
It's
with
gonna
that
be
one?
really awkward if one of us says yes and the other one says no.
Do you want to start with that one since I started with the other one?
Sure. So first off, I think it would be really hard to go into business with someone when you don't live, like, you can't like meet physically. And Dan and I don't live that close to each other.
5 or 6 hours.
Yeah. Yet how many times have you come to visit? So it'd be really tough having to do everything kind of separate and just do like video calls and texting and all of that stuff. And then the other thing is we're both in Pokemon, but we're selling the same stuff, but we're also selling completely different things. I do a lot of volume, low cost cards, where Dan does a little bit of volume, but more high value cards. So we're kind of opposites in that regards. I don't think Dan would want to get into the business model of selling low end cards again. I wouldn't want to give that business model up. So that would be a bone of contention between the two of us. And then thirdly, I am very, very controlling. I like everything to be a certain way. It's borderline OCD for sure. So all of my eBay listings, nobody's probably ever noticed this, but all of my eBay listings have the exact same format, and I'd want to keep it that way. I wouldn't want to change. I'm very, very rigid like that. So I think it would be tough to have like a business partner that you have to kind of bend to and kind of agree on certain things. So I don't think I could ever do that. There are some advantages to it. Obviously you have additional income, you have a combined income, you have more people working, so you're able to get more work done. But I think it'd be more of a hassle for myself than a benefit.
You're calling me a hassle?
You on the other hand are looking forward to us partnering, right?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we've been partnered for over a year now on this hopefully decent podcast. And I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I think this is a good type of thing to partner on. Maybe there's something else in the future. Maybe there's something else we're not thinking of now in the Pokemon space, or we both have a history in coins. Like maybe in some future endeavor, we will partner on something additional. But PokeFlipz podcast is definitely a partnered business. It's a business that makes no money yet, but it is a business. It's a labor of love. We do have an affiliate link. Feel free to click below if you want both Nick and I to benefit. But yeah, so we're partnered there. Nick, at some point, I mean, terrible time to be looking to buy a house with rates going up and prices are still high, but Nick's looking to buy a house at some point. I have sent him some Zillow links of some houses around the corner from me, and it doesn't seem like he wants to move near me. So I think he likes that 5 or 6 hours of distance between us. But yeah, I mean, a big part of like quitting my job was I want to be the guy, my own boss, the only employee. I like the flow of it. I like the way it goes. I'm never gonna do a brick and mortar. I think that's Mason's advice to anyone contemplating opening a store is like, don't. So I'm going to heed his advice and stay online only. But yeah, I'm open to, I mean, we're doing this. There's other things. And I guess even though we are separate eBay businesses 6 hours apart, I've sent him some consignment stuff. There was a period there where I was like extra buried under a lot of slabs, and I chucked some his way and I chucked some Z's way. Not that that's really like a business partnership, but like I utilized his business in that fashion and made a little video out of it, comparing pitting Nick and Z versus myself, auctioning off some slabs. So yeah, I guess we're not business partners through our eBays directly, but we've made trades. I've bought from him, he's bought from me, and so we support each other's businesses through that means. And that'll continue, I'm sure. So,
but like, so I was taking that question. So my dad used to run a coin shop, and he had a friend who was a big coin collector. And after like 10 years of him having the coin shop, the friend asked, would you ever consider going into business together? We'll be 50-50 partners. We'll take your whole inventory and I'll add inventory plus cash to equal your inventory. So we both own 50% of the business. My dad ended up doing it, and it led to a lot of problems between them two. So that's also where I'm hesitant to ever do something like that, because it led to, there was always disagreements or fights about money, what to buy, what not to buy, and it really hurt their friendship to the point where there was lawyers involved when my dad wanted to leave the business. It wasn't just something that could be worked out between two people that were once friends.
Yeah, and I can see that completely, because like, say I source an amazing collection, like the nature of my business and the way I do it, and I'm sure to some extent yours is similar, but like the Pareto principle, anyone familiar with that? 20% of your customers are 80% of your business. That you're familiar with that?
Yep.
The Pareto principle really applies to when it comes to like, if I look at my year and like how much money I made in a given year, a lot of times 20% of my plays will lead to 80% of my profits or my gains for that given year. And what if you make a killer score? Like say, okay, we look at my inventory is X, yours is Y, whoever's is bigger, we do the whole money thing. Well, now it's like, I want to go on vacation this week with my family, and you're there working an 80-hour week and you get some huge score, some big collection that comes in, and like that's going to be half of the profits for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the week or two that I'm on vacation, or vice versa. I mean, I could really see where financial strain could come in. And that's where, like, being your own boss, it's so great. Because if you go into work, if you hit something big, if you make a big score, fully and directly, you see all those gains. Like when I worked in my last job, in some ways it's nice, but in some ways it's not. Like you can go do a mediocre job, and I guess as long as you don't do too bad, you're not gonna. As long as you don't get yourself fired, you make the same amount of money. But it goes the other way too. Like if you do something really big for the company, if you make it an efficiency gain, if you make an improvement that saves them 6, 7, 8 figures, you don't see even a fractional portion of that oftentimes. Maybe your bonus is a little higher. Maybe you see something a little bit more indirect. But yeah, like that would be 50-50 ownership, but there's no way you'd get the inputs, the time to match perfectly. And then one of the two would be the one sourcing the deal or making the big sale, and it would just become unbalanced. And yeah, it wouldn't be too fun. I feel like different types of businesses might lend themselves better to it. Like if it was like a pizzeria or something, as long as you are putting in equivalent hours over the year, it's not like the pizzeria business. You have better weeks and better days, but not to the extent in this type of business. So yeah,
Well, go ahead.
if in a given year, I mean, 2000, there's 52 weeks, 40 hours a week, roughly 2,080 working hours a year. So if you had a pizzeria that made $500,000 and Nick put in 2,500 hours and I only put in 2,000, you can just fractionally work it out and it feels pretty fair. But it would be a little bit tougher to cleanly do that in Pokemon business with an inventory and all that. And like, even if we lived across the street from each other, just managing all that would not be super clean or easy.
Yeah, it would definitely be tough. But like DFW, they have multiple owners, and they're able to do it. So I think it is something that's possible, but it definitely adds. There's a lot more to it than just having more productivity, more funds available to purchase collections and all that stuff. It opens up a whole other can of worms.
And at the end of the day, like theoretically, I would have more funds accessible to me to purchase a collection, and so would you. But if either one of us acted on that, because I have what I have and you have what you have today, tomorrow if we partner up, we have the combined sum. But if I use more than I had going into it, well, now you feel like you have less to work with. Like,
yep.
The only way either one of us functionally actually gets more is if we use the other share to some extent. And then do I make a big 6-figure score that I think is great, and it's probably pretty good, but then some 6-figure score happens that doesn't happen the next month because you can't make it because the funds are all over the, like I when I quit my job almost a year ago now, I'm quite confident, unless life can throw anything at you, but I never intend to have an employer or an employee ever again. Like, I'm doing my own thing. I'm partnered with Jake too on the Patreon, the Pokenomics Patreon, and then you're partnered too with Crystal and Palette.
Yep.
With your Patreon. But those are just entirely different kinds of businesses that lend themselves easier to like splitting revenue, I think.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
When you bring in the inventory, and I guess part of it too is like, I don't know what you guys are making over there, but again, what this podcast is making or costing, not making, it's pretty easy to split like zero. 0 divided by 2 is 0, right? So the bigger the number is, the harder and maybe the more grievances might come up with the way things are split or whatever. But yeah, like the only partnerships and things that I ever think I'll do would be more of like this nature, just a business that isn't as directly buying and selling.
Yeah, definitely.
Good question though.
That was a fun topic. That was a good one.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I feel bad though now because I know you don't want to work with me.
Well, I read that question when he posted it, or a couple days after he posted it, and I thought it was gonna be a good one. I was hoping we'd have some disagreements where you'd say you really wanted to go into business with me, and
I don't have many Poke people. I mean, I really, you should move this way. You should definitely move. Maybe not right down the street, but maybe like around the corner within a couple miles. We can meet up every so often. In-person podcasts. That would
there
be
we
cool.
go. There we go.
If that could be like a regular thing to do in-person podcasts, but
that would be dangerous.
Yeah.
I've said it before, but we'd meet up at the post office, drop off the packages, and we'd end up going out for lunch, then going to the casino, and then grabbing dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, productivity would probably go down for sure.
Oh man.
I've wondered, like James, we've had him on before. It's been quite a while. Hopefully at some point we'll have him on again.
Did
with
he come on the James. Yeah. I gotcha.
With he has an employee now, Cam. It'll be interesting. Like if this one came up while he was on, I mean, we can ask him too, just the dynamic between the two of them and how that all goes. And it'd be interesting to hear some of that. And I've wondered too, because obviously they're in the Pokemon YouTube space and they consume a decent amount of content. I see him commenting on my stuff every so often. Are him and Cam like mostly in the same room? Do they have the YouTube on like a shared TV? Or do they have like, are they consuming the same YouTube content together?
That is true.
If one of you two is here, if not, it's gonna hurt my feelings, and we'll find out because we won't get a comment from you. But James and Cam, do you guys are you watching this together right now? Are you listening to this together? Or do you do your own like different rooms, different headphones in, whatever, different screens?
I never thought about that. That's a good question.
I thought about that pretty recently. They did that live pretty recently. I think they're gonna do the auction blocks live now. And they were both like sitting on the same or sitting on different chairs and chatting with the stream. But yeah, I wonder if they're listening to the same YouTube content all the time or what. Does James control the remote for the TV, or does Cam get his own? Does he get to control it every so often?
It's a good question.
Yeah. The podcast reaching out to some of our specific viewers and asking them questions.
Look at us. We're engaging with the audience.
We should start not just general questions. Leave a comment below. We got to start asking our specific viewers to test them to see if they're watching.
There we go.
A lot of times at the end of a long video, people will say comment this or that below, and then you see in the comments some random thing they're supposed to say.
Yeah.
They're still watching, but we'll do it more direct. We'll know now.
Put people on the spot.
Yeah. Cam and James are officially on the spot.
I like it. So that was the last question for tonight?
That was the last thing we had.
Okay.
There are so many things going on that I feel like we could talk about. We're only at an hour and a half. This would be like the shortest podcast we've had in several months, probably. But yeah, I don't know that there's any that pressing. I don't want to talk about Collecticon because we're going to talk about that with Jake right before we go. So that'll be fun. I'm sure they'll have more announcements of things that are going to go on.
Yeah, they really haven't. They really haven't talked much about Charlotte. They've been talking a lot about
Dallas,
Dallas or Houston. Yeah, Dallas.
which makes sense because it's first, but like, yeah, they're only gonna have a handful of days to talk about Charlotte afterwards. It'll be interesting though to see if they have anything big that they've not announced yet.
Yeah. Now I feel like Dallas is going to be the kind of like the flagship show, and Charlotte's going to be the leftovers.
I'm pumped though. We definitely
Oh,
got
it's gonna be a good time regardless.
there's a good crew going, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for it. I'm really looking forward to that. That's gonna be a good time.
But
For
yeah, like
sure.
this summer, I mean, we got Astro Radiance and Pokemon Go. We talked about a little bit. I'm really excited. Like I have a decent amount of my business, amount of my inventory stored at PWCC, but the eBay vault, I signed up for like the text alerts, and I've heard things from different people about it a little bit deeper that are being involved in like sending some inventory for its launch. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for that. I forget if they've set, I think they kind of said like a month that it was going to go, right?
I haven't been following the eBay vault. Um, yeah, I'm curious as to what it's going to how it's going to go over, but I probably won't use it
You're
much at all
crazy.
myself.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got a text on May 12th. So a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
eBay Vault launches next month. So sometime in June, with millions of dollars worth of cards securely stored and digitally cataloged. Protect your collection alongside gems like a 87 Fleer basketball complete set, Michael Jordan auto, BGS BAS, a 1916 M101 Babe Ruth PSA 7, and a first edition Pokemon base complete PSA 10 set.
Man, look at that.
Stay tuned for launch day to enroll and start enjoying next level protection and seamless transactions. I think the way that they're set to roll out, I think it's 750 plus only. So I don't have like a ton of inventory to send to them, but I'm really interested on seeing the fee structure. I'm really interested to see if they're like to entice more people in, more inventory in quicker. I'm interested to see if there's like a sweetheart deal fee structure. And then just the ability to have like, I think the way it's going to work, I think it'll be like final sale because everything is authenticated and verified by them. I don't think there'll be returns allowed for like disagreement with the grade or anything like that. If and when things like that happen, I think it'll fall on eBay themselves. This issue, I guess, as long as I get the pack to them without the crack. But yeah, I'm super excited for that. I think that could be. I mean, if I was PWCC, I'd be pretty nervous about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see how that whole thing plays out. PWCC and eBay. I hope eBay just absolutely destroys PWCC's business. I ever since PWCC started with the weekly auctions and the buyer's premium and all that stuff, I'm not a fan of them anymore.
The buyer's premiums annoying. The weekly auctions fine. I haven't been checking them at all. Almost. It's I check them a little bit, I guess, but not every week.
Mm-hmm.
It will be interesting to see though if they're able to survive, depending on eBay's fee structure and how that all works. Because PWCC is pretty slow with payouts. It's interesting though too, like this new partnership that just came up with PWCC and CGC, because eBay and CGC clearly have partnerships as well.
Yep.
Will eBay just say like, "Hey, we know you teamed up with those guys for this. That was cute. Like you're doing that with us now. Like
that is true. That is true.
I mean, PWCC is pretty big, but eBay is a behemoth. I mean, eBay is massive.
Yeah, but PWCC does have a solid foundation and established reputation and all of that. So I almost think that they'll be able to survive and continue to operate as they have been. I think it's a big enough market between sports cards and Pokemon and all of that stuff.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And then it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Golden's website still has a long way to go, but PWCC owns Golden, or collectors that owns PWCC, or that owns PSA.
Yeah, PSA.
All these acronyms. So Collectors Holdings that owns, what's the parent company of PSA? Collectors.
It used to be Collectors Universe.
Now it's Collectors Holdings.
Okay.
Which owns PCGS, PSA, and then all the other grading companies too.
Wait, I didn't think PSA was part of that anymore.
I forget what the parent company is called.
Is there? I thought like the whole PSA division was sold, or how'd that work?
Collectors Universe was what it was called, yeah. But now it's
is PSA still part of that division though?
Yeah, because Nat Turner's group bought not just PSA, they bought PSA, PCGS.
They bought the whole thing. I didn't realize that.
I believe so, yeah. But yeah, whoever it is, however it's structured, they also own Golden too.
Yep.
So like, will PSA and Golden create some partnership where you send stuff in to get it graded and it just automatically goes to Golden's vault or a marketplace or whatever?
I'd almost think they'd have to if the PWCC and CGC partnership works out well.
Yeah, I would definitely expect it. A lot of things, a lot of money, a lot of big companies in the space, a lot of people vying for consumer dollars.
Yeah.
Really interesting to see where it goes.
It'll be interesting. It's a fun time to be around. I'll be curious to see what happens there.
Yeah, with how crazy 2020 was, like I keep expecting the next year to just be, and prices are down a ton, but like volume is still there a lot. Prices are still high compared to a few years ago. Like I expect every year the next one to just be like a lot calmer and laid back, but just still feels like the whole hobby's running a mile a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, sales are still pretty consistent. My sales slowed down a little bit this month, but Whatnot's been helping that. That's been picking up for me pretty well. You guys wouldn't know that though, because I don't have any monthly spreadsheets to show you.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Where have you been on YouTube? And are you ever gonna? You don't have the podcast every 2 weeks to save you for your posting schedule.
Ever since we switched to this channel, my YouTube channel has gone plummeting downhill.
I worried for a little bit and my growth is a lot slower. Like my subscribers added in the past 30 days, it's as low as it's been in a while. But I think it's a more of a lull time for YouTube too, trying to find an excuse.
Not just the terrible videos you've been putting out.
Yeah. But I've been proud of myself in my ability, even though the content might not be the greatest. I'm putting something out there. Monday, Thursday at a minimum, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday if I feel like going for 3.
Nice.
I still plan that for the foreseeable future. I have so many videos that I still want to do. Some amount of them like require this because they require me to pop something up on the screen, things that I've never done. So like in the coming weeks, I'm going to figure that out and I'm going to start doing it from time to time. But I've also got like a lot of just a ton of ideas that I want to show. Obviously not like certain things are going to pop up in the Pokemon sphere news-wise that I'll cover. But like I've got some evergreen topics on just how I store inventory and where I store it. And because I get that a decent amount as a question. And I think maybe it's not interesting to too many people, but I think some things will make decent videos.
Yeah. I was planning to get back into YouTube this week. I did my video yesterday. I was planning on doing one for Thursday tomorrow, but that's not going to happen. So this weekend I need to take some time and record some videos for next week because we talked about this like 2 months ago. I want to do 3 videos on how to package orders, PWE orders, bubble mailers and boxes, and then flat rate boxes. I've had that idea forever, and it's just a matter of typing up a few notes, hitting record and recording that video. But I don't know. I'm starting to slack in my old age.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll be able to get back to normal.
I don't have my video recorded yet, but I have one planned for Friday, and then next week I have a cool collection to show. I've got my content mapped out for like the next couple of weeks, but not recorded at all yet. I'm trying to get better hitting that 8 to 12 minute range. I've been consistently like more like 12 to 18. I'm just trying to whittle it down slowly over time. But yeah, I'm still enjoying making it. I like making the content. Not a ton of views on it, but I get pretty decent feedback. Like I get a lot of engagement on it. It's funny when you get a video that's like 1 out of 10 because you just use one of those keywords, but the engagement's not there a ton.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you make a random video that like 1 million comments, 100% like ratio, and then it's like a 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. Like in many ways, I prefer those videos. Like it's great to get the engagement. It's great to get so many people reaching out and say like, I really like this video. But it's just weird. It's the algorithm, all that.
All they care about is how many people watch the video.
Yeah, our content's not too mainstream for YouTube for sure.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Nope. Gotta talk about modern investing.
And at some point too, like I'm probably gonna do a live. I like lives a lot. I'm probably gonna do one for like mid-July, like a year I did a year on YouTube live. I'm probably gonna do like a year having quit my job live.
There we go.
I kind of weeknights are tough, even weekend nights, just because I want to keep my work contained as much as possible to like my work day, Monday to Friday, 8 to 4:30. I kind of want to do the occasional live, but I got to think of like what I want to do during it. I don't know if you ever watched any, but John, Pokemon Radar, was doing them for a while. I think he said he was
treasure hunts.
He said he was going to do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, X time to why. Like, I don't want to be too ambitious and try to set like, oh, I'm going to be live every day of the week forever. Once every other week, maybe like maybe Wednesday off podcast week, or just I need to think of something unique. Actually, speaking of something unique, like shout out to our next podcast guest, Jake. He did like a call-in radio show tonight, while we're recording this, so last night, if you're watching this the day that it comes out, go check that out if you haven't. Like, I didn't watch it live. I'm going to listen to it tomorrow while this is uploading, while this is not yet live. I'll probably start my morning with it. But he brought on like people from the chat, anyone, brought them into StreamYard, popped them up on the screen, and had a back and forth. I popped in periodically, but it seemed like he had over 10 people on over a couple hour time period. And that's really cool type of content. Unique to the space. I don't think I've seen it. Like, it's a common format for like a radio show. Other people do it for sure. But in the Pokemon space, I think that's pretty new.
I don't think we've seen. I've never seen anything like that, and I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm excited to give that a listen. It's cool to have all those different perspectives and not just the same two people or the same person talking throughout the whole stream.
Except for these same two people. You definitely want to hear these same two people, right?
Yes, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
But no, I think it'd be cool to. I think that's definitely a cool idea. Hopefully he continues to do those types of live streams.
Yeah, because my favorite type of content, I've said it many times, and I'll keep saying it, to make and consume is this long form content. Just put it on in the background. 1.5, 1.75x, depending on who it is.
I can't do that. It's gotta be regular speed for me.
Ooh.
No wonder how you watch so much.
That's low efficiency.
I'm over here like 3 weeks behind everyone else.
I'm putting away 12 hours of content in an 8-hour shift.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Ease in with 1.25. My content, 1000%, you can do 1.25 to start.
Oh, yours you definitely could
easily. Like mine, do 1.5 to start.
Sounds like a normal person talking.
Yeah, ease into like the sped up YouTube with mine on 1.5, and then like slowly start doing it with other slow talkers.
With other slow talkers,
and then go from there. But yeah, I want to think of something like something new, something fun. And I know that the engagement, maybe the engagement would still be fine, but it would just be a different crew, people that are on their lunch break or able to do it on the job or doing it over, I guess, international people who it would be the evening for them. But I kind of want to do something in the span. I don't want to take another night away from hanging out with the wife or the family. So I'd like to do something in the mornings or in the afternoons. I'll have to think of something though.
You know, when you're supposed to be working, just hang out on YouTube.
This is work. This is our business we've partnered on. This is work.
No, I would like to do another live at some point, but it's been tough. I need to get more consistent with making YouTube videos first.
Yeah.
But even like I started doing whatnot streams every week, and I've been doing good with those. But even that, just dedicating an afternoon to doing that solely, it's definitely tough sometimes because you have to make sure you get all your packaging done in the morning, and then get everything set up for that, and then there's stuff to do after you finish streaming. Got to package all the orders. So
that's the nice thing about a YouTube live, though. Like, there's no, it's just up there. There's no editing, and you don't have any packaging to do after that because it's just a stream.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're high effort, you throw up a thumbnail for it, but I mean, you can do that beforehand too, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of these days I got to do a live. I've never done a solo live.
It was fun when I did it. I was proud of myself in that, like, how many people I actually got.
Yeah.
I made sure to advertise it beforehand for like 2 weeks and talk about it a bunch. So like, I didn't want to be in there alone. I would have felt bad. But I was proud of myself too for like keeping up. It wasn't too many people that I think I hit every question.
Yep.
I kept up with the chat, and StreamYard is great, like for popping the questions up.
Oh yeah.
I definitely need to just work on these kind of banners and things more too. Like you can do fun stuff in here.
No, it's StreamYard. Funny. I like being able to pop those questions up.
Yeah.
But we already talked about this, but another thing we can bring up that just found out about today. I'd be curious. Here's another question for people watching 2 hours in. Did any of you get an email or eBay message from eBay about I forget what it's called, the summer sales event or something like that?
Are
Basically,
we
what?
supposed to talk about that?
Oh Jesus! I'm gonna get kicked out of it.
Nick just got booted off eBay.
basically, eBay does a sale every summer, and they said they invited certain sellers to be a part of the sale. So basically, sellers who are a part of the sale, you can use a coupon for their items. And I thought I was really special getting this email, and then I realized Dan over there also got one. So I guess it's any Joe Schmo who sells on eBay is going to be a part of this. But I'm excited about that. I'm curious to see how sales will go during that, and if we will notice any type of an increase in sales.
Yeah,
they definitely hyped it up like you're gonna see a massive increase in sales. But it'll be interesting to see if you actually do notice anything.
yeah, they're calling it. So basically, what they're 15% off summer promotion. It's going to go from, so I guess this is good information for anyone who hung on this long. From June 13th to 19th, 2022, Nick and I are included, so probably everyone's getting it. But keep an eye, like 15% off coupon for anyone who's been invited and accepted the invitation. The way that it works, like, okay, eBay's making you knock 15% off all your items. How's that great? Functionally, though, and I made a joke with Nick, like, I don't know if there's different tiers of this, but basically they're splitting the coupon with you. So some amount they're going to fund, some amount you're going to fund, the discount. Basically, they're going to lessen your fees by X percent. If I had to guess, I think that percent would vary by people, but Nick and I have the same percent off. So yeah, I mean, keep an eye out during that time period. And one thing you might worry, like, okay, if Dan's gonna do 15% sale on all his inventory, he's probably just gonna go through and increase his prices by 15% beforehand. It actually says, like, they'll probably kick you out of it if you do, because it says, can I increase my prices to increase or to offset the 15% discount? No, we ask that you do not increase listing prices by 15% prior to the promotion period start date. So I don't know if they'd like it doesn't explicitly say they'll kick you out of it if they see you doing that, but it says to not do that.
yeah, exactly.
And like, I actually just ran over this past weekend, occasionally, sporadically, based on almost nothing. I'll be in the mood to run a sale every so often. It had been at least 6 months since I did it. I think my last one might have been Black Friday.
Yeah, that was my last one.
It was literally just like Friday night to Sunday night. I ran 15% off my whole store. I didn't post about it on Instagram, anywhere. Like, if you were browsing eBay last weekend and you came across one of my listings, you save 15% on it. Almost any of my inventory, even selling through eBay and paying the eBay fee in full, I can discount almost anything by 10 or 20%. Just how high the margins are on a lot of this stuff. And so yeah, participation in this was pretty obvious on my end. Like, sure, I'm fine knocking 15% off everything, especially if you're going to pay for part of it, eBay. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. When I ran my sale this weekend, I had like at least twice what I normally would have had in the weekend. Normally Monday I'll ship anywhere between, it varies a decent amount, but might be 25, might be like 40 is a general weekend. And I had like 60, I think it was. So that was 50% more to double, somewhere in there.
Nice. There you go. I gotta do a sale at some point. I haven't done one of those in a long time myself. It's been since Black Friday.
I think that was my last one too.
Yeah.
I
I've
generally
been bad about sending out offers too, because
I
I
haven't done that
used to
either.
do that every other Friday. But ever since I started these consignments, Monday is just brutal with packaging. So I almost want to raise my prices for the weekend.
You don't want to make it worse. Yeah. Yeah. That's like, if cash flow is good, I mean, generally, like this past weekend, cash flow wasn't exceptionally difficult or different than prior, but like a lot of times it's great to do it quick if you just spent like a ton of money on a big collection. Or I have one collection I'm going to be showing next week, but like nothing too crazy. I've been pretty well behaved in my shopping. Like I've been not spending too extravagantly on any inventory. I'm trying to really build up good cash reserves for this summer into, I mean, for the next 18 to 24 months if we have a real big recession.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, well, the next month or two might be pretty expensive depending on what happens. Like there's a lot of big stuff at Golden and Heritage, and there's a lot of trophy-esque type stuff that I'm trying to not buy, but that goes back to the personal collecting versus business side. Like if my collector side wins out, I might be spending way too much money in these next few weeks.
Yeah, no, there's those auctions are going to be exciting to watch. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, crazy amount. Any other topics to add?
I can't think of anything in particular.
We did get over 2 hours at least.
I don't know if we did, because we didn't. We're at an hour and 57 minutes actually.
Oh man, we gotta trail it out now for 3 more minutes. It was funny. Like one of our comments when we posted the 3-hour 40-minute one with Mason, we had a couple of comments like, "Oh great, I needed something to do, like something to listen to for the next 2 or 3 days." I think we've gotten a decent subset of our viewership like used to 3-hour plus, and they're gonna be upset with only 2, maybe.
I know we're just disappointing everyone this week. Oh,
but
man.
yeah, I guess just quick recap of everything.
Yeah, let's just restart from question 1.
Yeah. No, Jake is going to be on next podcast, so leave your questions below if you have anything catered towards him, or if not, I mean, any questions in general, and we'll do the whole all 3 of us will answer thing.
I was trying to think, have we had Jake on yet? I think
Nope.
This is his first time on.
Yep, it'll be Jake's first time. Even our first year we never had him on. We went live with him on his channel once. I've been live with him a handful of times.
I haven't gotten a second invite.
I've never had him on my YouTube channel except for, or no, never.
Yeah,
because we never had him on the podcast, and so yeah, I'm excited for that. Obviously,
yeah,
I talked to him a lot with the Patreon and stuff. Shout out Pokenomics Patreon. Shout out Old School Pellet Town Crystal Pokemon Patreon. Shout out the eBay affiliate links everywhere. Like and subscribe, all that stuff.
Yeah, be sure to smash that subscribe button.
Yeah, destroy it.
Oh man, but no, it's been another fun chat with you. Always enjoy these.
if you listen to the very end, even where we trailed off for a couple minutes trying to hit 2 hours, let me know. Are you a PC person? Xbox? PlayStation? Which one are you?
Oh, by far PlayStation.
PlayStation 3. I was always PlayStation over Xbox, but I haven't owned a PlayStation since PlayStation 3 back in college.
Neither have I actually. But
well, I guess except for a Switch, Nintendo, every system forever. I actually own I own the NES, SNES, GameCube. I own all of them.
Nice.
Maybe not a Wii though. I guess I don't. My mom has a Wii, so I can count that as mine. Oh god. So yeah, let us know what console you play. PC all the way.
I can't get used to that. That's it's too weird for me. Gotta have a controller.
I am gonna have to hit up at some point. I'm gonna have to drop in. Where'd my? Oh yeah, I got my Bigfoot right here. I'm gonna have to drop in Fortnite with Charlie and John at some point soon. Now that I'll have a PC to play it again.
There we go. There goes your day right there.
Here's another last minute pickup too. Here's my Crystal Shard Bigfoot.
Oh Jesus!
I'm gonna start a new binder. Every Bigfoot card. I forget who it was. Sorry. Someone linked me to a random Bigfoot card from 1991 for $2 on eBay. So I just bought it. I'm gonna every set, every manufacturer, any card created with Bigfoot. I'm just gonna buy them all. I probably have the most expensive one, the sample MetaZoo one. I can't imagine there's a more expensive Bigfoot card out there. I hope there's not. I hope everything is sub $5. But we'll see. I've got the Rudy Bigfoot too.
There we go. Look at you over there.
So yeah, we hit our 2 hours now.
See you later.
Yeah, pretty much. Thanks for watching. As always, we appreciate all of our viewers, especially those who are hearing this at the very end. We will catch you all later.
Have a good one.